Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be local nursery plant shopping at Plant Keeper Inc. in Dallas, Texas. This is part 2 of my nursery walkthrough tour at Plant Keeper. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as give me a follow on Instagram. My Instagram name is at Grow Folds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me directly if you have any questions about the plants. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome, my name is Richie and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. You can see that I am traveling through downtown Dallas to get to Plant Keeper. This is Dallas's hidden urban jungle. Not a lot of people know about Plant Keeper, so I am excited to just continue to show you what a beautiful nursery this place is, and I hope that you guys will actually take a trip. So this is part 2, and you'll see that part 1 I featured a lot of the plants, and so we're just going to walk around and look at a lot of the plants that they have available. This is near the registers or where you check out, so you see that they have many different types of plants. You see that we've got some Hoyas and a couple of things I did want to highlight about Plant Keeper. Again, it is not a wholesale place. It is open to the public, so if you are looking to go buy plants, you can walk in here. You don't need an appointment. They are open throughout the week. I do believe they open at like 9 a.m. You'll have to just check their Instagram page, which is at Plant Keeper Inc., to just double check. But you'll see, look at this beautiful Hoya carnosa crimson queen, I believe. Beautiful variegation. And like I said, if you go to Plant Keeper, you will see lots of highly developed plants right over here. Absolutely love it. Absolutely just think that everybody needs to be going to Plant Keeper. You'll see that this is a very large Hoya compacta variegata, or a variegated Hindu rope. It is already trailing. It's got a little bit of sun stressing, and so these are Hoyas that you can find at Plant Keeper. So if you are into Hoyas and you're looking for ones that have already gotten a lot of growth, this is the place you need to be going to. I have been shopping at Plant Keeper for more than 5 years, and you know, it's one of those plant nurseries that you really develop a great relationship with the staff. I wanted to shout out Garen, their general manager, for always having the knowledge and teaching me a lot about plants. A lot of my plant journey has gone through many people that have influenced me in terms of just my plant care tips, the plant IDs that I get, and just the love for plants. So if you get a chance, definitely say hello to Garen. He is a plethora of knowledge when it comes to plants. Syngonium Godzilla. So this is another one of those uncommon syngoniums. You know, you're seeing a lot of these really unusual leaf shapes. It kind of reminds me of the Shangri-La pothos, where it's got some leaf curling. What a cool looking syngonium. And when I think about syngoniums, I think about a very kind super plant foldie by the name of Angelique. I know she collects a lot of these syngoniums, and the Syngonium Godzilla is one that I thought of that she would actually like. And then, you know, for all of the plant foldies that continue to tune into my YouTube videos, I really appreciate it. I haven't been as consistent about daily 1-hour plant shopping videos, and I do apologize about that. It's just that life gets in the way. You have to live life, and sometimes I have to take some time to just rest. I've been working a lot. I'm getting ready to go to PlantCon New York City, so I've been trying to just get a lot of rest, working a lot to try to get some of those funds available for some of these plants. And so today is one of those days where I am excited that I finally am able to show you a lot of these beautiful plants at Plant Keeper. foldies, you'll see that there are just so many plants, and I'm just going to pan around again and just show you lots of different types of plants. This is a Syngonium Thai Pink Splash that I gave to Garen, the manager at Plant Keeper, many years back, and he has been able to keep it alive. I'm sure he has propagated from it, and you can see right here we've got some more bromeliads. And the part 1 video of Plant Keeper, I touched on the fact that they are able to get really large size plants to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And so one thing that I saw was a bunch of the unique looking bromeliads. You can see that they also have many easy care plants. Take a look at this Aglaonema Silver Bay. It is a massive one. It is a plant that I always talk about in pretty much every single video that I do. And I really hope that the plant foldie community will embrace that plant. Aglaonemas are my favorite plant to grow. I am collecting them. I am definitely addicted to Aglaonema. And so with Plant Keeper, if you want large size Aglaonema, you can get them, but you can also see they've got a Marble Queen Potho. And you'll see that this is actually growing on a totem pole. Same thing with this Monstera Stadliana on a totem. So as far as Plant Keeper, again, if you haven't watched part 1, definitely watch part 1. Part 2, I will touch base on the other side of the plant nursery where you won't really see, or it's not as open to the general public. But you know, I had to go back and film some of the other plants that are readily available. The majority of plants are in 6-inch planters, 10-inch planters, 14-inch planters, like this beautiful Philodendron Summer Glory. Look at that velvety texture leaf, or actually the satin shine of this particular Philodendron. And then as I spin around here, we've got a beautiful Philodendron Ring of Fire, and look at how highly variegated this is. This particular nursery is definitely got a lot of lighting, bright light, and so these plants are definitely growing their best life. You can see here, this one is a fully white variegated Philodendron Ring of Fire. This one is in a 6-inch planter, and so if you want something as gorgeous as this, go to Plant Keeper for sure. And I just really hope that the plant foldie community, if you ever visit the Dallas-Fort Worth area, that you are able to go shopping here. I'm just going to continue to pick up some plants, enjoy the relaxing music that I have playing for this video. Most of this video will just be me picking up plants, and so I hope you find this video relaxing and visually stimulating in terms of the beautiful foliage that Plant Keeper offers. And I really don't think there's a lot of nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And trust and believe, if you ever go plant shopping in Dallas-Fort Worth, you know that we have so many different nurseries and big box stores to choose from. But Plant Keeper has a lot of plants that have already put on a lot of growth. You can see that Monstera Letriana has so many nodes that you can actually take cuttings from and propagate. Same thing with this Philodendron Ring of Fire. And the thing about Philodendron Ring of Fire is it is a philodendron in terms of the variegation. It's very much reliant on the amount of bright indirect light you give it. If you don't really give it a lot of bright indirect light, it will actually revert more so back to the green form, which to me is still a beautiful beautiful plant, but if you're looking for high variegation on this particular philodendron, you're going to need to give it a lot of bright light. Same thing with a lot of the other variegated plants that we have at this location. And here's the thing, they also have easy care plants. So I talk about Aglaonemas being super easy. The green versions of Aglaonema, such as this Aglaonema stripes, for instance, are the easiest of easy houseplants to grow. They are low light tolerant, they are drought tolerant, they can get large, and they are really good at purifying the air. So if you have a space in your home that doesn't really have a lot of bright light, you can still put an Aglaonema stripes, for instance, to take up some space and clean up some air. Now over here we've got some beautiful variegated Hoya carrii inner variegation, and it is also just growing wildly. That's the thing about Plant Keeper. You can go here and enjoy a hidden urban jungle, and I say hidden urban jungle because it is in the Arts District of Dallas. It's right next to the Dallas North Tollway, and so it's easily accessible. It is really in the heart of the downtown area. It's right next to the what's that? That's that Space Place, or Reunion Tower, which I've actually been able to dine at one point. Reunion Tower, it's like right near that area. And so again, plant foldies, let's just continue to look at all of the beautiful foliage of Plant Keeper. Again, if you made it this far into the video and you haven't already, I do ask anybody that is listening, that is watching, that is just enjoying plants, please press the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. Our channel is steadily growing at a pretty good pace, but I hope that we continue to grow this plant community, which I am so thankful for, because again, for those that continue to go onto the live premiere chats, you are able to just continue to push this content out to more plant lovers. I've seen lots of plant YouTubers really making consistent content, and so I hope that the plant foldy community can help me with that. But you can see that this particular nursery, you know, as much as I want this video to get pushed out to more plant lovers, it's really because I want to create more awareness for Plant Keeper. You can see they've got so many different types of Dieffenbachia, large form Dieffenbachia, and Dieffenbachia look very similar to Aglaonemas. You've got Ficus lyrata here, or the fiddle fig leaf tree, lots of different types of large philodendron. So this is a philodendron imperial red, beautiful dark red foliage, and right next to it is a philodendron imperial green. That one is such a large statement piece of a philodendron, and you know, if you are looking for something instant gratification, you are able to purchase these massive size plants. For me, I'm not able to really take any more of these massive size plants because I don't have the big space. I would love to be able to get a large house where I have really tall window ceilings and just lots of bright light. Monstera Thai constellation. I would say before we started seeing jumbo Monstera Thai constellations, Plant Keeper was one of the first local nurseries to carry these sizes. Look at how massive this is. I mean, you can see right there, that is a statement piece plant. That is a plant that is definitely worth every single dollar that Plant Keeper is asking. So you'll have to go visit in person to ask what the plant pricing is. But what I would tell you is it's definitely cost effective for the size of the plant. And then you can see as I pan away here just how beautiful this hidden urban jungle is. And I'm going to continue to say this because when it comes to plant shopping, I know we do a lot of big box store plant shopping. We definitely go shopping at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, Target, but this is definitely a big box store plant shopping alternative. And when I say alternative, you are able to get these gorgeous plants and not shop at a big box store. You are able to support a local small business. Although I wouldn't say this is a small business, this is definitely a local nursery that does a lot of business, a lot of commercial business, because it is a professional interior landscaping company where they're able to get a lot of these plants and make an interior space literally look like an interior jungle like this. this is a beautiful Aglaonema green army that I'm really tempted to buy, and I would love to buy it at this size because, again, these large form Aglaonema are so easy to take care of. Like, anybody that has been watching my videos, or if you happen to find my video today, first of all, thank you for tuning in. But second of all, you must get into Aglaonemas. Aglaonemas galore. Everybody needs to hashtag popularize Aglaonema. Know that even Plant Keeper has these, and whenever I spoke to Garen, the Plant Keeper manager, he even mentions that ags, as he says, are just such easy plants, and you know, the way to send them to plant heaven is literally overwatering them. They are more so on the side of just wanting to stay a little bit more dry. Unless you are growing Aglaonema like myself outdoors in a shaded area, you can water them with the hose and keep them a little bit wet, because the outdoor conditions will dry their soil substrates a little bit faster. But like this beautiful Aglaonema green army, let me know in the comment section, Plant Foldies, if you would add that to your collection. And whether you are going to go visit Plant Keeper, I encourage anybody watching today's video, Plant Keeper Nursery walkthrough tour part 2, to leave positive comments of encouragement, what you think about this nursery, and what plants you are loving on the screen. Like this Philodendron Pink Princess, look at that half moon, and look at how large the leaf is. These Philodendron Pink Princess are actually being grown on totems, so they are actually climbing up a structure where they get larger, more mature leaves. And this is really the few nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that actually have plant totems where they're growing in their natural habitat, or the way they want to grow in nature. Plants I want to highlight is the fact that they have a bunch of Sansevieria, even the more uncommon ones like the Sansevieria Bantles Sensation. This is a rare Sansevieria, super slow growing, and to find it at this size is absolutely amazing. Now, you know, with Sansevieria, they are low light tolerant and drought tolerant. One of the easiest plants to add in a collection, especially if you're a beginner houseplant collector. And let's just continue to walk through this urban jungle here, and wait till you see the place where it's not really open to the public, but I did just want to continue to walk around and show you some plants. This is the China doll tree. It is a massive tree, but typically you will find this in a very small 3-inch planter, often at big box stores by Costa Farms Exotic Angels, the China doll plant. But this one is, when it is allowed to grow in its full maturity, it is actually a full-blown tree. Again, Plant Foldies, let me know in the comment section what you think of this beautiful plant. It is definitely a living work of art. All of the plants in Plant Keeper are actually statement piece plants when you think about just the massive sizes that they have. And whenever I need to just kind of escape stress, really practice mindfulness, get my Zen moment, I just go to Plant Keeper and really take on the very clean air, because obviously you are surrounded by plants, and also just the beautiful foliage surrounding you as you just navigate through this urban jungle. so many gorgeous plants, hundreds and hundreds of plants ranging in many different sizes. As you can see, I've just walked around and shown you a lot, and you can see even this beautiful Dieffenbachia camouflage. I had a camouflage this large in my my master bedroom, but even with the south-facing window, it just did not do as well. So, you know, as much as I love Dieffenbachia or the thought of growing them, I really have to stick to Aglaonema. You know, it's interesting because Sean of Only Plants, he is a famous YouTuber. He mentions that Dieffenbachia are easier than Aglaonema. I actually beg to differ. I really feel like Aglaonema are so much easier to grow in an indoor space because they can tolerate lower light conditions, are a little bit more drought tolerant versus the Dieffenbachia that needs a lot of bright light, that needs consistent watering, and is a little bit more spider mite prone. So maybe it's just the environment. I know that Sean of Only Plants is based out in Indonesia, and you know, anything in as far as like a Southeast Asian country, it's just going to be easier to grow plants because they have that hot and humid environment. And when you think about Plant Keeper, their actual environment for these plants is hot and humid. So I will say it is more on the hotter side whenever you're walking around this plant nursery. It is not necessarily built for like humid to be super comfortable in terms of the temperature. It's literally to make sure that these plants are getting the right temperature for them to really thrive. And how do you get these plants to grow those massive sizes? And it's all about, you know, providing that natural environment where it's a lot of bright light, a lot of filtered light, a lot of humidity, a lot of warmth. You know, just all of those factors will push plants to grow, you know, into these massive sizes. And that's the thing about Plant Keeper, again, is if you want to buy a plant, say in a 6-inch planter, you could go to a big box store. You could find, say, a pothos plant, but you may not see one that has a lot of trailing vines, because these plants in this type of environment definitely grow at a much rapid pace because of the ideal conditions. And that really goes back to how we try to grow plants indoors. You know, we try to give us grow lights, humidifiers, etc., etc. I really encourage people to really reassess the amount of effort we put into growing our plants. If we have to kind of terraform almost our interior space, is it really worth growing the plant to try to just keep it alive? Or do we want to just pivot to plants that are a little bit more easy care and don't really require us to change up our interior spaces? Plant foldies that are watching, let me know in the comments section, because I really do want your insights. And I also want your insights about whether I should get this Aglaonema painted prints. I mean, look at that silver foliage, look at that variegation, look at how massive that Aglaonema is. And I already know, you already know, plant foldies, that this plant is going to be very cost effective because Plant Keeper does have competitive pricing, even if it is a local business or a local nursery out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In terms of just even the health of the plants, the foliage, the thickness, the growth, all of it, you are going to be getting a high quality plant. Highly recommend people to spend all your money, buy all your plants at Plant Keeper, support Plant Keeper. And if you do have like social media, please follow them on Instagram at Plant Keeper. Definitely say hello to Garen, and just recommend this as a place where if you aren't necessarily going to buy a lot of plants, you can still roam around and just look at how beautiful the plants are, which is what we're going to do for just a couple of minutes. For my Hoya heads that love Hoyas, look at this Hoya macrophylla that is sun stressed. So Plant Keeper definitely has Hoyas, and they have Hoyas that are trailing. Later on in the video, you are going to see the iconic variegated Hoya compacta that is in bloom at Plant Keeper. It is hidden from the public, and so I'm just really excited. So make sure that you are watching this video till the very end. And do you guys recognize this tune? So this is by DJ Bang Beats. This used to be my main opening theme song for my Grow Folds Big Box or Plant Shopping videos. This track is called Prepare Yourself, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying all of the new music. Some people said that I needed to bring back some of my older tracks, which I am doing. I am hoping that my friend Jordan can make some more specialized tracks. And for those that are actually part of my YouTube membership tier, and I know I mentioned this quite a bit, number one, Super Plant Foldies, that's what I call the ones that are on the YouTube membership tier. Thank you for being a membership. Again, it is only for $2.99. It makes the sustainability of this YouTube channel definitely more stable in terms of that passive income that I hope to garner for all the efforts, the hours of work I put into creating this plant content. So again, if you are able to join my YouTube membership tier, please make sure you hit the join button. If you are watching this video on a computer or in the comment section as a pinned comment, I have a direct link where you can join. I also definitely want to shout out the most generous super plant foldie by the name of David. He literally gives YouTube membership tiers to the plant foldies, at least 5 lucky ones, almost on all my videos. And David, if you're hearing this, thank you so much for spreading the love for the plant foldie community. And for those that have become YouTube members and were gifted ones, I hope you guys will continue your membership, because alongside with some of my more lifestyle personal blogs, I don't know if you guys have seen my happy birthday blog, the way I spent my day for my birthday. There will be more updates that are aside from my typical big box store or plant content, and I will also have all of the tracks as a playable playlist. So if you are doing plant chores or just hanging around, you can have a Grow Folds Plant Foldy soundtrack moment for that. So we're just gonna again continue to walk around, so feel free to enjoy the music, enjoy the foliage that I will be showing you right now. Another plant I want to buy definitely from Plant Keeper are these blooming anthuriums, because you can see how large the leaves are. Even if they're not the trending anthuriums, I do think that blooming anthuriums are still beautiful. I love the different types. There is one particular one. It's a variegated like pink and white bloom. It's called the Anthurium shibori. I see it on eBay sometimes, but it's over $100. And well, let's just say that, you know, for those that are going to PlantCon 2025 in New York City, I am attending, and I've already spent close to an entire mortgage on plants that I will be picking up. These are plants that I am getting from overseas through artgarden.flowers on Instagram. So definitely follow my friend Riki's page on Instagram, garden.flowers, and maybe you'll be able to go buy some plants from him. But as you can see right here, this is just a full-blown jungle, and it's one that I really hope you guys will take the time to visit. This is a massive nursery. This is one that even my camera lens does not do justice. You really have to be here to really enjoy all of what Plant Keeper has to offer. for all the plants that I picked up, you'll notice that literally every single plant has some new growth, has exploded in its growth. It's super established. And, for me, if you are looking for a plant that isn't just newly propagated, this is the place you need to be going to, because you can see that these plants have been growing their best life. They are enjoying the environment. I mean, you can see we've got a begonia right here. This is one that is on a totem pole, moss pole, and I love the vertical structure that it has. This definitely has some nice, beautiful leaves, velvety textured leaves, and then just that maroon undertone. For my folks that love the begonias, there is a Dallas-Fort Worth Begonia Society, which, number one, I definitely need to try and join and also attend a meeting. My grandmother, for those that have been asking, loves begonias, and she is also on the road to recovery. Thank you again to everybody that has sent some prayers and positive notes to her. For those that don't know, my grandmother is 90 years old. She is my source of inspiration in terms of just taking care of plants. She recently had a little bit of an accident where she fractured her hip. Luckily, we were able to get her to the hospital. And even the day after she had her surgery, she was already up and walking on a walker. And so she's just going through the road of physical therapy, So for those that actually have sent a lot of updates and just asked about her health, thank you again for showing that much care. You can see over here, Syngonium Mickey Mouse. This one has more of a triangular shape to it. Again, for my Syngonium lovers, Plant Keeper has them. Same thing with Hoyas and just many different plants that you may not necessarily see. There's just so much to look at, and the way they've arranged these plants, it literally does look like an urban jungle. Every time I go to Plant Keeper, I am just amazed of just the health of the plants, the size of the plants, the selection, and just the pricing. I mean, you'll see we've got Alocasia Golden Bone, we've got a massive Philodendron Summer Glory, and this is another Philodendron I do think is a little bit underrated, even though it is a fast grower. It's got beautiful satin textured leaves, and it's fairly easy to grow. You just want to make sure that you provide it bright, indirect light, water when the soil is dry, and try to give it a little bit higher humidity levels. Rhaphidophora discordia. So you can see that these are the mature leaves, and Rhaphidophora discordia will not get these fenestrations unless it has something to climb on. But when it does, look at how beautiful the leaves are. It almost looks like an Imidrium silver medium, but it is a Rhaphidophora discordia, and they are just growing around this this little stake right here. It is also known as the dragon's tail plant. This one is another one that grows pretty rampant in my family's home country, which is the Philippines. It's oftentimes mistaken as an Epipremnum pinnatum, but this one is a Rhaphidophora discordia that is on sale at Plant Keeper in Dallas, Texas. So as far as big box or plant shopping alternatives, let us spend all our money at Plant Keeper. Let us support small businesses. Let us support local businesses. And, as far as the plant community in Dallas, we do a really good job uplifting, supporting small businesses, local businesses, because at the end of the day, who else is going to support them but us, especially this plant community? People have asked whether Plant Keeper ships. Unfortunately, they do not. So I would just recommend taking a road trip down here and buying this Sunstress Hoya carnosa, for instance, because look at the amount of growth all of these plants have put on while being, staged to be sold at Plant Keeper. The amount of vigor, the amount of growth that you see in these plants, it is unmatched when you think about all of the other nurseries that we have available in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. For those that made it this far into the video, please leave some comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video. You can also give a super sticker or a super thanks, which is basically a monetary tip that you can give a YouTube content creator to share your appreciation for the effort in making this type of content. I know for myself, it is definitely going to help me with some of my financing when it comes to traveling to PlantCon New York City. My plane ticket alone was a little bit pricey, but I feel like traveling to New York City for PlantCon is going to be worth it because I'm going to make hours and hours of plant videos. So super stickers definitely help out. Feel free to donate or support if you would like to. And then now, plant foldies, we are about to go to the next portion of this video, which is basically the main attraction, and that is the non-public area of this nursery. But before we do that, I'm just going to walk through some of these totems of plants, like this Philodendron lemon lime that's been allowed to grow up a totem pole, and you can see how large the leaves are. Beautiful neon colors. One that I would recommend, it is a fast-growing philodendron as well. Now about to go into the employees only section. Top secret plant stuff going on here. So I'm so thankful that Garen has allowed me to just kind of wander freely into this area. So we're gonna walk through the back nursery. So there's two nurseries, one that's out for the public, and this one is one where they stage a lot of the plants that they're just growing, and just some top secret plants that they don't really have available for the general public. So we're gonna make ourselves available right now to look at these plants. So this is an exclusive peek. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this because this is even more of an urban jungle. But before we get into that, you already guessed it, plant foldies, I did want to put a little blurb, a little bit of an ad in terms of the Classy Rabbit soil. You already know, plant foldies, that I'm going to ask, have you pooped on your plants today? If you haven't pooped on your plants, definitely consider getting Classy Rabbit soil. It is a soil that is made and created in a North Dallas suburb called McKinney, Texas. This is a local small business based out in McKinney, Texas. I absolutely love this soil, and today I am showing you a demonstration of how I pot up in Aglaonema golden powder, which I also bought from a local plant shop called Peta's Planters. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Peta's Planters on YouTube. She now has a YouTube channel, so congratulations to Peta. But to go back onto the Classy Rabbit soil, definitely want to say that this is an amazing soil. All of the ingredients are 100% naturally sourced. One of the main ingredients or components is obviously the rabbit manure. This really helps the roots develop and establish, and whenever you have strong roots, it's going to give a great foundation for the plant to push out some vigorous growth. I pot up a lot of my plants in Classy Rabbit soil. It is fast draining. It is, again, naturally sourced. It really does create a nice biosphere of an environment for your plant to really develop strong roots and strong growth. It has done very well for my plants that I've potted up, and that is the reason why I like to talk about Classy Rabbit soil. You can see right over here, I've already potted up the Aglaonema golden powder in a Walmart modern terracotta planter. Love terracotta planters, but you can see how fast draining the soil is. One thing I will also mention is I love the fact that it does have rice hulls as part of the ingredients, and rice hulls actually contains a lot of silica. So when you think about plants and the cells of plant cells, silica actually makes the cells a little bit more durable. So in terms of the plant, you think about how it's going to be more durable in terms of extreme heat or colder weather and drought. So it really does feed the plant some of that great nutrients to make it even more durable. So if you haven't already, please make sure you consider going to classyrabbit.com, put in an order for a bag or two. They do offer free shipping for a minimum order of plants, and it is now at a lower price from the original retail cost. It is one of the hottest selling soil substrates throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Oftentimes this soil is actually sold out at local nurseries, so definitely check out classyrabbit.com. So now, plant foldies, we are now in the back portion of the plant keeper, and you can see that these plants are taller. It looks even more massive in terms of some of the plant sizes of the plants. You can see right here we've got some rhapis palms, and I'm really excited that I actually have a variegated rhapis palm. That is another palm though that does require a lot of water, so I am currently growing mine outdoors in a shaded area. And then you'll see right over here, this is not open to the general public, and a lot of this is literally just plants just growing outside of their pots. You can see that a pothos plant, a neon and golden pothos, has escaped its pot and has literally crawled around and has become ground cover. So here's the thing about pothos, or Epipremnum aureum. In the jungles in, say, Southeast Asia or wherever pothos plants can be found, that is how they grow. They grow through the jungles, and then they will attach themselves on a tree, which they will continue to climb and get larger and larger leaves. So you can see that this is really the hidden jungle of Dallas, Texas. Ficus melanide. So this is another rubber tree plant. This one is a little bit different than some of the ficus. You can see that it is another beautiful green ficus plant. You know, ficus, they definitely need a lot of light. I grow mine outdoors in full sun and they are loving it. But you can see right here, we've got fern, we've got pothos plants, we've got Aroids, we've got ficus, and then we have this beautiful foxtail palm, and I just really love the silhouette it has. It almost looks like origami. For some reason, I love the leaf shape of it. Such a beautiful plant. And so I'm just gonna walk around here and show you this grove of Ficus lyrata, for instance. And foldies, can you believe that a beautiful nursery like this exists in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? Have you ever seen a massive tomathophyllum like this? I mean, this is just massive. Like, how do you even sell this plant? This plant is most likely not for sale, but this is what it could potentially look like if you were to see these plants in the jungles where they are naturally sourced. I mean, look at how massive this tomathophyllum is. And then you can spin around here. They've got a bunch of just very rogue growing, wild growing plants. This one is a sun-stressed Hoya Chelsea, for instance. And you know, something about sun-stressing plants, bleaching plants, it's not a bad thing, especially if you like that bleach look. I know Garen doesn't mind sun-stressing his plants. I actually think it is a beautiful look for some of the plants here. And then as I spin around here, I mean, plant foldies. Let me know what you think, whether you would love to experience this in person. I know that if you ask nicely, Garen may show you this back portion because this is just phenomenal. I am just proud to say that I live out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I have access to such beautiful nurseries like this and this Tomathophyllum. I mean, I'm just going to continue to walk around and show you. I know Garen was kind of showing me and telling me about some of the plants here. Often these plants are really just here to size them up, extra room. They definitely just let these plants live their best life. They definitely get the environment that they need. They get the water, the light, and even just the biosymmetry of a lot of these plants where they kind of grow on top of each other. They attach to each other, and you can even see at the very bottom there are just so many golden pothos. And contrary to popular belief, you can still see that there is nice variegation for the golden pothos, but all throughout this part of the nursery they have just grown everywhere. And this is the reason why pothos plants, especially in areas where it's more subtropical like Florida, you really don't want to grow this on the ground because this is a very invasive plant. Oftentimes when we think about house plants, we just have them in a container, but if you allow them to grow wildly like this, they can take over and invade an entire landscape. Epipremnum panatum, Baltic blue, beautiful hanging basket. And this is another Epipremnum panatum that doesn't necessarily need a totem pole to start to fenestrate. And let's take a look at this Tomathophyllum again and just keep looking at these massive plants. Can't get over the massiveness of the Tomathophyllum, and you can just see right here we're just walking through a forest of Dracaena, large foliage plants. A lot of these plants are definitely the more basic or easy care plants, but needless to say, when they get to these sizes, there is nothing basic about them. I would say that they are statement piece plants. This one is a beautiful Dracaena marginata, and when I think about these like tree-like plants, I think of one of my favorite YouTube content creators. His name is Benji Plants. Absolutely absolutely love Benji plants. I would love for him to be able to acquire something like this because I know he loves Dracaenas, especially the Dracaena marginata. And then look at this row of different types of green, large leaf Aglaonema. So we've got an Aglaonema BJ Friedman, we've got an Aglaonema Golden Madonna. So there is ample amounts of different types of green Aglaonema varieties that you can buy at Plant Keeper, and these ones have been growing for quite a while. And that's the thing about going to a nursery, when you know that a plant actually has been growing in its pot for a while and is well established, the success rate of actually growing that plant long term is higher because you've got more established roots, it's pushed out new growth, it's acclimated into its pot. It's just amazing. And I don't know, some people may think, okay, Richie, you are just walking through a jungle, but I just find this so fascinating. Plant foldies, let me know in the comment section what you think. And when you think about a sun-stressed peace lily, how often do you see that? It's got neon coloration. It doesn't mean that the plant is unhealthy. It just means that it's received a little bit too much light than what it is really needing, but I still love the look of that. Ficus laurata grove, look at this forest right here. And as I round out this video, I did want to show you the iconic variegated Hoya compacta in bloom. So this is one of the largest trailing variegated Hindu rope Hoyas. You can see how beautiful it is. For my Hoya lovers, let me know what you think. This one was actually in more max bloom, but it still has a couple. This is a plant that I would love to have, but I would love to have one that's already trailing like this. It is a massive one. It is one that they will never sell. This is definitely not for sale. Totally understand why, but this is one that I enjoy looking at, and you can see there is that Hoya bloom right there, and it is sun stress, and it is just living its best life. I am just really happy because to see this over the years continue to push out growth, it is one that I would say is iconic. It is one of the plants that is well established, and I hope that it continues to thrive in its environment. I am thankful that I've been given access to just continue to see it thrive and bloom. And you can see right here, look at that Hoya bloom. I wish my Hoyas would bloom like this. I know that there are some plant foldies that love Hoyas, but let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a variegated Hoya compacta trailing in bloom as massive as this? Please leave in the comment section below. And I know that if you've made it this far into the video, then you are really engaged with this content. All I ask is, again, if you haven't already, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. And if you know somebody that needs to see this local plant nursery, which I think everybody should see, please feel free to share the link to this video, post it on your social media profiles, such as Instagram, Facebook groups, Facebook page, wherever you have social media. Even send it as a group text to some of your plant friends. I would love everybody to be able to see this variegated Hoya compacta in bloom, but more importantly, to show everybody the, Dallas's hidden urban jungle, one of the best nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and that is Plant Keeper. So let's just continue to walk around, and as I round up this video, I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this hidden jungle of a nursery. See that the golden pothos has taken over and has become the ground cover of this hidden part of the nursery. You can see that there are a lot of ferns. All of those spores have just kind of flown around. These are actually Phalaenopsis orchids that people have brought in the hopes of having them rebloom. Plant Keeper is actually able to just take donations of some of your Phalaenopsis orchids when they are not in bloom, and they get them to rebloom, which I think is a really cool thing, because oftentimes Phalaenopsis orchids, once they're in bloom, people will just compost or toss them, which I think is a shame, because that is a waste of a plant. You can see that there is a Monstera albo just growing out of nowhere, and you can see we've got Philodendron brantianum, we've got Ficus umbellata right over there, and just more and more plants. And this is really definitely a jungle. This is what a jungle would look like if you were released out in a jungle and we had all of our houseplants grow wildly. And this is what makes Plant Keeper a very unique nursery to go. I hope that anybody that is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area will take a visit at Plant Keeper. They are open throughout the week. They open, I believe, at 9, and you'll be able to see this. But, you know, as I finish up this video, I'm going to show you what plant I ended up getting for my birthday celebration, and that is a beautiful Aglaonema white tip. As always, plant foldies, if you enjoyed today's video and you want more exclusive content, please join my YouTube membership tier, the Super Plant Foldies, for a low price. For the cup of coffee of just $2.99. Hit the join button. But you can see how beautiful this Aglaonema is. My name is Richie at Growfolds. It has been a pleasure to feature Plant Keeper Incorporated, one of Dallas's best plant nurseries to go shop at. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel with all the notification bell on. I'll see you on the next one.